So Bill, tell us what impact do you hope your book will have, and who, let's say, who's your target audience, especially when you consider, I've been reading statistics that the average American is not even invested in the stock market.
A couple of points, Tracy. Number one, when I started to write the book, I was writing toward the industry's preferred target market. And these are individuals, families in their 50s or their 60s, they're pre-retirement, they're in retirement, they've had the advantage of accumulating a lot of wealth. They are the people who are so often taken advantage of by one of these bad guys. But when I brought the book to my publisher, he said, you know, Bill, I disagree. I think the market is much, much wider than that. And he's right, because we are all susceptible to, you know, making wrong decisions and being taken in by someone who not very scrupulous. Tracy, I will suggest one thing. I think people, most Americans, are engaged in the stock market. It may be their 401k, their 403b, another retirement plan, or maybe they're working for a publicly traded company where if their earnings falter, they run the risk of being laid off.
So by default, they're in the stock market?
Yes.
So to speak.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it's a pretty wide swath of our population. So, but I'm very sensitive to the people who you and I would consider to be the most vulnerable. And it's older Americans, maybe women outlive men. In fact, there's a statistic that suggests that 90% of all women at some point in time will be 100% responsible for their wealth management. And that's daunting, because presently only about 53% of women participate in their family finances. So all of a sudden, you've been working with a husband and he passes away, or a divorce occurs, or there's a split and you're all by yourself. These women are very, very vulnerable, and I am very sensitive to that, and I would love...
What advice do you want to give them?
The advice I would have is to enter into any situation with a healthy dose of skepticism, because the wolves are always at the door. They're going to come at us via the phone, they're going to come at us via email, they might even knock on our door, they're going to be referred by a friend or another trusted person in our worlds. And so many people will just choose to believe because it's easier. If I can share an example, please. I was fresh out of training, had some good training, I was licensed and registered, and I was back in my home office less than a week. And a woman called in, and I made an appointment with her, and she came into my office. It really wasn't an office, it was more like a cubicle. I was a novice, and sat down, and I was asking her some questions, and I looked the part. You know, I've got the suit on, the white shirt, I'm a good guy, we've got flashy signs over our building and so on and so forth. Within 5 minutes, she said, I have complete confidence. Whatever you say, I'm okay with it. And I was a little humbling. I said, oh my goodness.
And you were a new broker to the industry?
Yes, yes, it was a little humbling. So, I put her in a total return fund, which was appropriate, I know, but it occurred to me right then and there, what an awesome responsibility I have, because so many people want to believe, put their trust in you, say, here. How many people did Bernie Madoff influence? Don't doubt Bernie. One of his principal investors said, doubt Bernie? Doubt Bernie? You don't doubt Bernie. You doubt God, but you don't doubt Bernie.
I remember that quote in your book, that someone actually said that, yeah. And most of his people were friends of friends, and that's how they got involved in it. So they trusted each other. It was that
exactly.
community.